Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. So as promised, I have been working very hard on making this build, and I'm just gonna say I was quite fortunate to even get to where I got to in the short period of time since I've made this Unbreakable journey all the way through a survivability build. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say this build is at a 6 out of 10 currently. And that's because of the pieces that I have, and that's because of the short period of time that I have. So far, I've been able to make this build my own, and there are specific things that I want to be able to take this build to be 10 out of 10. Now, this build is not like any of the other builds that I've seen, and that's because I had to make it this way to follow the pieces that I had and the talents that I had and the resources I had. So I'm running an Unbreakable build based on the assault rifle, but with a lot of headshot damage as my end goal. And the reason I'm stacking headshot damage is because to build a headshot damage build is actually not difficult. The difficulty is landing those headshots consistently. And so what I've seen myself doing is I've seen myself just getting more and more challenged to knock out headshots, and that's where my damage actually is. So if you look at this build currently, I'm running on my assault rifle 110% headshot damage. It's actually supposed to be more, but I cannot seem to find a chest piece that's gonna roll me headshot damage. So I have this 12% critical hit chance that's just sitting here. I don't need it for this build. Instead, what I would prefer is headshot damage, which I have another chest piece that has a whole bunch of headshot damage, is this one. But it's a chest piece with Berserk, and I mean, look at it. It's so pretty. I cannot justify taking this 11% headshot damage to it. So I have to find another chest piece, hopefully soon, that has enough headshot damage. I think this one also has 10.5% headshot damage, but it's also an overlord, and I like to run the rifle build because this new character is pretty much only going to spec to the sharpshooter specialization. I'm not going to spend my time upgrading the others, except I don't have anything else to do, but I want to go for a headshot build. So I'll show you my pieces. I'll show you what I have. I have 256,000 armor, which for Unbreakable, a lot of the builds that you guys had sent to me, a lot of the ideas you shared with me, many of you were pushing. Many of you are pushing the 300,000 armor mark. And so I have not gotten there, folks. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to be farming pieces. I'm not stopping here because this build, I want to take it to the max level so that I can see exactly what's going on out here. I don't have this 40% damage to elite mask that everybody's talking about for some reason. If anybody finds one in the dark zone and you play on PC, I beg you, hook a brother up because it's probably going to change the game for me. Now, this mask has 26% damage to elites. I think I have one with 29%, but I'm waiting for a 40-something% one. And then I have some health, and then I have hard hitting to give me some damage to elites. It's a Richter and Kaiser mask. It's got hazard protection, which is really nice. You can stay clear of all kinds of hazardous materials and you still remain alive. My backpack is a Gila backpack. I got this one yesterday, and I took the Gila backpack over my Badger Tough because if you remember my video yesterday, Seabreeze, when he shared his video, he had 2 Badger Tough, which gives you armor on kill. I want to take 2 Badger Tough, but I don't have a second one that's good that will run me all these stats. Okay, so I'm using this backpack for now. It's got on the ropes, which is not procced, and I'll tell you why I'm actually using this backpack, and then I have hard hitting. Now, some people have told me that I can take my firearms and invest a lot of that in my skill so I can get on the ropes, and also then use compensated on my gloves to be able to get a lot more damage out of it and to get skill cooldowns and all that stuff going for me. And I've seen builds like that, and I intend to actually try that variation later down the line. If I can get the pieces that will line up for me where I can get, I think it's just 7 of these that I need, and then reduce this to about 3, I think I'm probably going to be in a good spot to do something like that. So that's what I'm looking towards. Backpack has health, armor, and critical hit damage. This is going away, definitely. This has to be weapon damage. I found out yesterday that to roll weapon damage on my Badger Tough, it wasn't allowing me. But I do have a backpack that is somewhere in my stash that has 7% weapon damage. It was a purple backpack, and I'm going to try to see if I can roll that 7% weapon damage on here to get myself more damage. Chest piece, Unbreakable. Let's just consider this headshot damage because that's happening as soon as possible. I don't have enough resources on this character. In fact, yesterday I had to transfer some of these pieces to main character to be able to get these rolls, these recalibrations possible. I think it's just these 2. And in my holster, I have my Heraldi Holdings holster. It's got a whole bunch of health, and I went with precise. Now, one of the biggest challenges that I faced was actually using devastating. And I know a lot of you may say, but why not just use devastating? You get weapon damage regardless for every enemy type. And I say true, that's definitely true. But I want to challenge myself, and I want to go for a headshot build because the headshot multiplier is actually pretty nice. A friend of mine and I, we were talking about, some multipliers and stuff. And apparently, if you think about it, going for the headshot multiplier actually grants you so much more gains. And so that's exactly why I wanted it. And that's why I'm running over 100% headshot damage. And then for my knee pads, some of you had recommended patience, which I made sure I put the Fenris here because that's where I could get patience. And then I was able to get hard hitting as well. And this has armor. And this also gives me my 10% assault rifle damage. My gloves, fortunately, I have 10% assault rifle damage here. And then I have health. So when we look at everything, look at our stats, we're looking at hard, Unbreakable. We're looking at some really cool stuff here and there. I haven't shown you my weapons yet. My weapon damage here is actually pretty low, but I'm working my way towards getting more weapon damage. That's what I said this build is like a 6 out of 10, is because there are some things that I need, and we'll talk about those things. And so all weapon damage, about 2%, not a lot, 20% assault rifle damage bonus. I still need to get some more. And then my damage to elite is about 61%, which I know for sure that I can get much more, but 6 out of 10 build based on how long it took me to put it together, less than 24 hours, I would say I'm pretty much on the right track. Now, for my weapons, I have my P416, which does decent damage, but I'm not gonna even say I think this is a good weapon that I'm using right now, because I have this military AK that I got yesterday that's landing 19k per base damage. It has on empty, which does a good job, honestly, because the weapon has a lot of stability issues. Look, I'm running sharpshooter, but my stability is not 100%. This on empty helps me just fire very slowly, and firing slowly is to my advantage. You have no idea how hard it is to hit headshots, and I'm on PC, and so that's why I'm using the headshot build, because it's actually, for me anyways, easy to land headshots with my mouse and keyboard. I can land them with my controller, no doubt, but I have more gains when I do it this way. And so on empty has been helpful. I probably will move it to be, to maybe Optimist. I think my build can take on Optimist right now. So I can probably run Optimist if I wanted to. I can run Ranger. Ranger also does a good job because I'm usually playing from distance. And so the reason I'm not using this is because I'm still working on the weekly projects, and hopefully I can get that, big old mag. And if I get that mag, guys and girls, this is exactly what I want to do with this build. I'm also running the Nemesis, and the Nemesis is supposed to, I'm using it just because of the headshot talent. Why holstered, gain 25% headshot damage when scoped with your current weapon. And so I'm using where's the scope here? I'm using the C7 scope. I've heard that this is the scope that actually gives that to you. Some people have said it's the ACOG, the 4X scope that does that. This ACOG 4X optimal range scope that does that. But yesterday when I was running the C7 scope, there was a glitch. I was seeing this Nemesis. Let me show you what this is. Let's mod this. So this Nemesis scope system, I saw the glitch. Literally, my weapon had this Nemesis scope system on it, my assault rifle. So I think it works with the scope that I'm using as well. So that was a confirmation that I got from all of that stuff. Sidearm is just something that I just put there just to get my gear score up, but I would prefer to, for this character anyways, I prefer to get a sidearm with stop, drop, and roll all day, every day. My favorite sidearm talent, no kidding. And so that's my goal. My goal is to get a full-on headshot build. I want to be doing, if I can do up to 150% headshot damage, I will take every single ounce of headshot that I possibly can. And then I'm looking to buff my weapon damage, my headshot damage on my chest piece, and then my weapon damage on my backpack, in order to be able to leverage all of this. Now, you can also, another thing too is the Circle of Concern masks are actually very good. They rolled 3 attributes. So if I can find one with everything that I want and get the damage to elite, I can probably use those as well to get more damage and to get more use out of my gear set. So for those of you who run Unbreakable build, I'm going to open the floor for you guys to actually judge this build. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I mean, you guys might be a little bit more critical, but that's fine too. but we're working on the build, and I want to run the skill variation. Hopefully I'm able to get the pieces, and then I'm going to make a video about that and talk about my enjoyability. Now, regarding if I'm enjoying this build, I am. It's a different way to play. I know everybody says there's no build diversity in the game. There's very minimal. I'm not going to say there is no build diversity, because I've seen some really good builds, especially with the, we're playing with the guys on the Discord. By the way, there are over 300 people on the Discord, and give me that in Discord. So you guys are insane. I appreciate it, or whatever it is. I can say here, and I appreciate the guys who set it up for me. Ubitnik is the boss. And so if you're looking for raid groups, link in the description below, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. But regarding how much this build is, I'm enjoying the challenge. I'm enjoying the need to land my headshots, which is where my damage is, and I'm enjoying the fact that I'm actually farming for something that the community has actually shown that is proven to work. So on many levels, this build is actually helping me develop and get better as a player. And so I really do appreciate all the input you guys have put in there. And I'm so excited that I've been able to even get where I am in such a short period of time. That's the main thing. It was such a short window for me to get this build together. And so right now where I am, I think I'm quite satisfied. Anyways, let me hear what you guys think. Leave comments in the comment section. And I guess I'll see you in the next one. Peace.